What's up, future officers? My name is Tejas and I welcome you all very warmly to episode 17 of iLead. Today, we are going to be discussing a topic which is of high relevance both in prelims and mains. Sir, what is this topic which has both prelims and mains, you can ask? So the topic is something which has been in news a lot. It is called as Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, it becomes important because of the timing in which this particular conference or the summit has happened. So, this time it has happened in Tianjin, okay, which is in China. But before we discuss about what exactly happened in Tianjin, we will quickly look at some prelims factuals before we start discussing this, right? So what is this prelims factuals? See, post the Cold War era. So when the Cold War era ended in 1990s, Soviet Russia, it disintegrated and it became so many small countries. So Russia was now looking for allies. So in 1996, 5 countries will come together and they will form Shanghai 5. What are these countries? One, you have Russia, and then you have China, then you have Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. These are the 5 countries which will come together to form Shanghai 5. Then in 2001, again one more country will be added, which is Uzbekistan. Now after this country is being added, it will become Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Okay, then in 2017, in a summit which is called as Astana Summit, 2 other countries are also added, which is India and Pakistan. Now after this, very recently, there are 2 more additions to this list. So that is Iran and Belarus, making the total member countries of Shanghai Cooperation Organization as 10 member states. So this 10 member states, you have to try to visualize, or else you will not remember if you randomly just go on reading or hearing this. See, first thing is very easy. Russia and China, these are 2 countries which are there. Then Central Asia has 5 countries in it. What are these 5 countries? Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. So this 5th one, Turkmenistan, is not part of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, when a prelims question is being set, they will try to add this particular statement to try to make you do that particular mistake. But you have to remember, Turkmenistan, in which we try to propose something called as the Tapi pipeline. Okay, that country is not there. Turkmenistan is not there. Understood? After that, you have India and Pakistan. Remember it as a group. Okay, after that, Iran and Belarus, new countries to be added. Totally how many countries? Totally it is 10 member states. Fine, sir. So, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, where is the headquarter? Where is the headquarter? Is it in Shanghai? That is another presumptuous mistake which many people will make. It is not in Shanghai. Rather, it is in another city called as Beijing. Okay, rather it is in another city called Beijing. You have to remember that Shanghai Cooperation Organization is not in, the headquarter is not in Shanghai. Rather, it is in Beijing. Okay, sir, fine. But what kind of an organization is it? What is the character of this particular organization? See, it is very simple. Number one thing you have to remember is that it is a permanent body. It is not a temporary body. You have to lay great emphasis on these words. It is a permanent body. It is an intergovernmental body where people from different government delegations will meet every year. Okay, intergovernmental permanent body. What are the matters where they will discuss? Number one, will they discuss economic matters? Yes, they will discuss economic matters. Will they discuss political matters? Yes, they will discuss political matters. Third one, will they discuss security related issues? Yes, they will go on to discuss security related issues also. Okay. So, overall, if I have to just phrase it, it is a permanent intergovernmental body which has which discuss economic, political and security related issues. This is going to discuss. Okay, very good. Fine. After this, what is the next thing which we will see is that these 10 states together make up how much percentage of the population of the world. Because India and China is there, obviously that is 142 crore plus another 142 crore. So obviously that would amount to a lot of amount. So totally Shanghai Cooperation Organization has about 43% of the population of the world, and it has 23% of the GDP in nominal terms. about 36% in PPP, that is purchasing power parity terms, but 23% in the nominal terms. So these are the prelims factuals which you have to try to memorize, try to remember, so that it will help you solve the prelims question. Now, the 25th summit of SEO has happened in the September 2025. Very easy for you to remember this. 25th summit of SEO has happened when? It has happened in September 2025. Where did it happen? It happened in China, in this place called as Tianjin. Later on, they even signed something called as the Tianjin Declaration. We will say what was written in that also. But nevertheless, okay, these are the prelims factuals which you have to remember for this time. Next, we move on to the mains component. In the mains component, because India this time we went and we attended the SEO and showed our active participation there, because of this effect of America or USA putting tariffs on us, what does it imply? We going to SEO, what are the opportunities we can gain from there? Firstly, it's a kind of a strategic signaling, meaning to say what? We have gone to China, we have interacted with Russia and China very closely. So it kind of sends a signal that the West is not our only allies. We have equal and powerful allies in the East as well. So it's subtly and subliminally sending a hint or a kind of a message to Trump, right? So strategic signaling, this is the word you have to try to use. So it also indicates a strategic autonomy there. Secondly, it also presents an opportunity of regional engagement. Now, what do I mean by this regional engagement? See, regional engagement means we have this particular prowess wherein we can use the resources from these Central Asian countries. As we know that in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, we have a chance to get access and interact in open channels of communication with Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. So with these four countries, what are the resources which are present there? Number one, maximum uranium we get from there. So uranium, we in India do not have a lot of reserves of uranium. So we can get it from Kazakhstan. And apart from that, also we can get gold and silver, petrol and natural gas, copper and chromium. And along with all of this, we can also get lead and tungsten from these particular places. So you see that a lot of natural resources in terms of raw materials can be exported from the Central Asian countries. So this presents as a good channel to get all of this. The third aspect is that when we go and attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the domination of China and Pakistan and how they set their agenda of the meeting and what issues they talk about will be a little bit in control. When India is present there, they cannot go on presenting a one-sided monopolistic version of what has happened only according to them. India will be there to neutral kind of an ideology, and India being there is a positive in that particular direction. The fourth one is counter-terrorism operation. So when we talk about counter-terrorism operation, Shanghai Cooperation Organization has one permanent structure. It's called as RATS. Now, what is this RATS, sir, you might ask? It is not that RAT which you conventionally know. RATS is an acronym. That acronym, it stands for Regional Anti-Terrorism Structure. What does it stand for? A Regional Anti-Terrorism Structure. So this Regional Anti-Terrorism Structure, its headquarters is in Tashkent. So it is instrumental in bringing about intelligence of security, okay, and combating and issuing directives to control terrorism, especially state-sponsored terrorism. Like for example, you have Pakistan. Okay, so through RATS, we can engage with intelligence sharing, we can engage with military operations, we can engage with a kind of combat readiness, right? So all of this happens because of RATS, which is a permanent structure under the SCO. The next particular opportunity which we have, fifth point, is energy diplomacy. What do we mean by this energy diplomacy? See, it is very simple. India is an energy-starved nation. The demand for energy is highly inelastic in nature. Inelastic means no matter how much money it comes, if petrol is 50 rupees also we have to buy it. If petrol is 100 rupees also we have to buy it. Tomorrow, if petrol by chance becomes 150 rupees also, we have to buy it. So we are an energy starved nation. We need a lot of energy. So through Shanghai Cooperation Organization, we can engage with countries like Russia. We can engage with countries like Kazakhstan, because these countries, they have a lot of gas and oil reserves, natural gas and oil reserves. So traditionally, we depend a lot on the Gulf countries. So we can diversify our energy basket in this particular regard. The next point is that this presents an opportunity for us. If you notice the member states of SCOs, you also have China and Pakistan, whom traditionally China, we have had an up and down relationship. Pakistan is almost considered as an inimical state, right? So it gives us some kind of an opportunity to establish contact with them, to establish a connection with them, to establish an open line of communication with them, so that communication is not completely stopped and some kind of diplomacy will still go on, where at least some small issues can be resolved for the time being. So it presents us that opportunity where all our inimical states also can come together. Now we are moving closely with China, but China always presents itself with its vested interest, okay, and it takes its national security of paramount importance. The last point I would like to present as an opportunity is, by engaging in SEO, we present ourselves through a soft power projection. What do I mean by this soft power projection? See, soft power as in, when we go to SEO, what are the issues we talk about? We talk about poverty. We talk about inclusive development. We talk about combating terrorism. So all of this, when a country is talking about all such global issues, generally anybody's perception of what we call as Bharat or India will be of a very good one. So it will increase our soft power when we go to talk on a global stage as well. So these were all of the opportunities. But sir, is SEO going to be such a walk in the park? Is it? I would say that no, it is not going to be a walk in the park. Certainly it comes with its own set of challenges. So what are these challenges? The first one is the presence of adversaries. So when I say presence of adversaries, what do I mean by this? See, presence of adversaries means that in this stage, like I have already mentioned, Pakistan and China are also there. So when Pakistan and China are there, what does that imply? It is whatever we are going to tell, China and Pakistan are unitedly going to come together and they are going to object. Okay, and if they start objecting, it is not going to be easy for us to put across what we call as terrorism or what we call as inclusive growth or whatever our ideas is. It is not going to be very easy for them to entirely accept, right? The second particular problem is China's dominance here. So when we talk about China's dominance, the most important thing is, if you see all the members of SEO, and if you put China on one side and if you put all other members on one side, China is so powerful that whatever it says will end up being on the winning vote. It has that much of power in the SEO. Now, with China supporting Pakistan, our real issues of whenever we talk about terrorism will probably never be addressed, right? So over here, this becomes a concern. Now, the third point is that the stance on terrorism is always usually just symbolic. Now, when I say that it is just symbolic, what do I mean by this? See, when usually our main threat with terrorism is by whom? It is with Pakistan. And when we go to SEO and when we complain about terrorism, whom are we complaining against? It is usually Pakistan. So, will China ever give us the real support against terrorism? Probably never. So, even if it gives its support, it will be very symbolic in nature. So, strategically, whatever statements are there, it will just be symbolic and structurally very weak. Okay, I hope that you get this point. Okay, just symbolic in nature, whatever statements are being made there. The next particular point is that SEO comes with its own economic limitations. And when I say that it comes with its own economic limitations, what I'm trying to tell is that, see, whom do we have major trade with in all of the SEO members? Only two countries, China and Russia. So except China and Russia, probably no other country can give us all of whatever we need in terms of technology, in terms of capital. So really, in the real sense, only with Russia and China we have maximum benefit. All other countries, yes, we see them as opportunities probably in the future, but for now, does it give us a maximum impetus in terms of trade or something? No, nothing like that. So what could be the way ahead here? Should India's stance be that you completely ignore the West and you only concentrate on East? No. For any aspirational superpower or for any aspirational regional superpower, that should never be the stance. Definitely it has to continue its engagement with the East, wherein we take whatever we can from China and Russia and probably even Central Asia for the resources and everything. But we should continue to have structural conversation, diplomatic channels, and engage with Europe, US, and Latin America also, so that we get technology, capital from Europe and US. So we get all of that from there, and we should look for advantageous positioning in terms of the East also. So the most important thing is balance in this world between East and West. So that should be maintained. The next second point in our way ahead, which we have to discuss, is the economic power. So when I talk about economic power, it is not just coming, sitting, talking about poverty, talking about inclusive development, talking about economic growth. Those are all not the things. What actually gets signed? How many FTAs are there? How many PTAs are there? How many foundational agreements have we signed between these countries? So that is very, very important, and ultimately that is what channels growth, right? So even we should use SEO also as a means of signing many of these foundational agreements and trade agreements. And only with this will the real economic growth come. The third one is about China. So the third point about way ahead is in China, wherein with respect to China, it's always been a very strategic country with a lot of vested interests. Unless China does not get benefited in some or the other way, it never moves a pencil from this side to this side also. So it is that calculative. So having said this, we have to move with China through caution. We definitely have to engage. We definitely have to establish trade. Now, even the trade relations which we have with China also, there is a lot of trade deficit when it comes to India side and trade surplus when it comes to China side. We have to try to even it out, try to sell commodities to China also, and China also should be in a place to buy all these commodities. So SEO can be a medium of talking about all of this. And of course, one more point is about combating terrorism. So whenever Pakistan does anything, this is our way of going there and trying to establish this conversation wherein we tell that Pakistan has done this, and the world in the East will know that Pakistan is up to some state-sponsored terrorism through this mechanism called as SEO, right? So having said all this, this time in our particular summit, in this Tianjin summit, which happened in the starting of this month, we have signed something called as Tianjin Declaration. The important takeaway in this Tianjin Declaration was that all the countries, they came together, and China also giving its support to India. It has recognized the recent Pahalgam attack in Kashmir as a terrorist operation, okay, and it has declared that the entire, all the SCO countries accepts that Pahalgam is a terrorist attack, okay. So having said all of this, I hope that now you are in a better position to understand SEOs, both from the prelims and from the mains point of view, wherein you can do a little bit of analysis, and now you are aware of all the prelims information. I hope that this episode of iLead made you a little more informative, and now SEO is part of your wisdom. With this, I take your leave. This is Tejas signing off. I thank you and have a nice day.